Hi. Hey, hey.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello.
¿Qué tal?
Vale.
I'll be one of them, the most important object.
Ordenador, teléfono y un lápiz.
I love pencils, so I have drawers full of pencils, lots of different pencils.
It's just like a little notebook to doodle in and make to-do lists and to write thoughts and notes that'll catch up to you later.
A latte, a Wacom tablet, and my computer. Tampoc em pot faltar música, perquè hi ha moments... No pels moments de pensar, però pels moments de fer.
I feel light is very important, like actual proper light.
Food, coffee, headphones.
As an artist, it's my computer, of course. It's all of the stuff I've collected over the years, the inspiration folders with just images that inspire me. And
I got my bed there as well whenever I have to work late, so I can just jump into my bed and start again the morning after.
Una es inspiración, otra pues el sistema de colaboración.
I think our studio is a great environment to work in, and this is an important thing. We have a lot of this great open table space where we can get away from our computers, and it's an area of the office where we can just get dirty.
We don't have to have a nice studio, but having a space to work in is important.
An openness, open space, in a very much kind of a collective space, a space that allows for tinkering, hacking, conversations.
M'agrada tenir una porta a tancar, saps? I per poder-me concentrar bé.
Music, I guess, like I need to have like big speakers with loud bass.
Creo que la tercera es hacer cosas para bien, para que la gente aprenda algo, para que la gente se sienta más orgulloso de algo, para que la gente tome conciencia de algo, siempre tienen que estar hacia allá.
a part of my process is being able to have as few things as possible. So I like the challenge of not having the things that I'm comfortable with working with. That being said, I think that one thing that I find exciting about being a creative today is having technology to allow you to do everything remotely.
Hòstia, internet. Sense internet, impossible.
From a business owner standpoint, it's my staff. It's my executive producer, Rachel, it's Hallie, my operations manager, and all of my artists.
Seriously, I would probably say my graphics tablet. I've only just started using it and it's just made my work so much quicker. And then probably John after that. John. I'd need John and JK. So that's my three things. There you go. Done.
For me, it's the people within our studio. I'm not having much fun if I'm designing by myself. I prefer to be surrounded with other people.
Having the belief in yourself, having the confidence, not really worrying too much what other people think about you and your work.
And things that I don't like is actually shoes. So I'm much more comfortable just slipping off the shoes at the door and just walking barefoot.
No, I'm not superstitious.
Yo tengo, mi amuleto es una pequeña mano, que me regaló una pequeña mano, chiquita como de madera, que me regaló mi padre.
I wear this all the time. It's I've worn this I think for over 10 years, every day. It's a jade necklace that my mother used to wear when she was my age, and I think it gives me luck. And if I don't have it, it just doesn't feel okay.
No, I'm going to be cheesy, a picture of my daughter.
Yo hace 5 años, cada vez que tengo un proyecto que tengo que hacer, no cuando lo estamos diseñando, ni cuando lo estamos, digamos, en el estudio haciéndolo, pero cuando salimos a hacerlo, me pongo los mismos tenis desde hace 5 años.
We have a fireplace actually. It sparks the conversations. North Kingdom is much more collective, much more open, working together.
A veure, faig una cosa molt friqui, que és ficar documents, o sigui, fico noms als documents molt raros, perquè em porta sort.
Like when I go to meetings, like very important meetings, I typically always straighten my hair because I have very curly hair. And I don't know why I feel like all of a sudden it makes me feel more professional or something.
Un bar que es el bar de los chinos, que está justo al lado del atelier. Y bueno, ahí hemos pasado muchas horas también.
Typically, a client comes to us with a problem that needs to be solved or something that needs to be produced.
Llegir el brief, que l'entenguis bé, El segon pas sempre és fer preguntes sobre el brief.
I take in all the information for the brief and then I don't think about it. I'll go and do something else.
El análisis del proyecto, en donde necesitamos la mayor cantidad de información.
I usually just start by researching the content for what I am designing for.
Rough drawings, tests, you know, like research also, a lot of research.
Em faig gairebé sempre per projecte una carpeta de referències.
Y en ese proceso, lo primero que hacemos es hacer una estrategia, es restringir, es como que crear tu propio mundo en donde en ese mundo que quieres hacer haya ciertas cosas que sí puedes hacer y ciertas cosas que no puedes hacer.
I start off with like a main thing, like a main idea, a main shape, a main text or whatever. Like I got something in my mind.
Lo que más importancia le damos es a la idea, ¿no? Entonces perdemos todo el tiempo que sea necesario hasta que tenemos una idea que nos gusta.
We try and brainstorm, we try and pass an idea around the studio. It will form amongst many different people, and we try and encourage everybody in the studio to have their own vision, their own idea.
I have like 30 different versions of it because I really want to explore everything.
Making mind maps, sketches, trying to make interesting connections between the things I've collected through the research, and then kind of go from there. Després, escriure algunes idees, pensar quina és per la que vull anar.
Y después de eso, siempre generamos un documento en donde diga exactamente lo que es.
Y luego sí que ya dividimos el trabajo, yo hago el entintado en una mesa de luz y Alejandro escanea ese original y pone el color con un ordenador.
But also doing a schedule, doing a budget, doing all those very practical things so that it sets it off in the right direction.
Después de hacer estrategia, lo que hacemos son un diseño de la intervención. Como no todo lo que hacemos tiene que ver con diseño en papel o en video, sino tiene que ver con instalaciones, digamos, físicas.
Inmersivas o
shows,
espacios o shows.
Entonces pensamos en la manera de atacar el espacio.
Lo que siempre se repite, el mismo patrón, es la idea. Tenemos una idea cada uno, las fusionamos, las ponemos conjuntamente, normalmente a base de bocetos. Y una vez tenemos el boceto ya pensamos, mira, va a ser una ilustración, una escultura, entonces ya ahí profesionalizamos el proceso.
Explico la idea i si me l'aproven començo a treballar.
And then if the client likes your boards, is okay with the schedule, is okay with the budget, we'll get awarded and we'll start producing it. And then it just becomes following the schedule and actually delivering what we say we're going to deliver.
Y ya cuando ejecutas es 100% diferente, todo es diferente, o sea, cada proyecto es muy, muy, muy diferente. Pero sí tenemos 3 etapas, preproducción, producción y después cerramos el proyecto, porque también cuando lo terminas hay muchas cosas que hay que hacer. Hay que documentarlo, hay que cobrar otra vez, porque eso es otra parte del
Hay que pagar también.
Hay que pagar, hay que hacer muchas cosas.
It's a very organic process that I've been working with, so I like kind of not knowing what the next step is. A lot of the times that's kind of the exciting part for me. Otherwise it kind of feels like work. The steps really reveal themselves as I'm making the piece. That's usually determined by scale, but I don't usually have an idea of the framework of the process. I usually start with one thing and then let it build up into the next thing.
Uno es restringir antes de crear y después es formalizar todo lo que vas a hacer para que no solo en el vector creativo salga bien, sino en el vector económico salga bien para que te permita seguir haciendo cosas.
If you're stuck with monotony and you're not going anywhere, just change something about your routine.
It's always just the next new challenge that kind of keeps me going.
The challenge is either who can jump the highest, or who can jump the longest, or who can eat the most.
Don't be shy of the pen, just sketch.
Reduction every day.
I think copying is always quite good.
I personally just find exercising to be the biggest help of anything.
For me, it's just like I have those hard moments that I don't know what to create, and I just keep on pushing and pushing.
No deixar mai d'anar a clase.
La mayoría de los proyectos y las cosas que hacen son un nuevo descubrimiento todo el tiempo. O sea, no se conocen, nunca han trabajado juntos, hablan diferentes idiomas, tienen diferentes culturas, entonces la experiencia en sí se convierte en este ejercicio creativo.
Don't look at websites. It's the first thing to do. But it can be too overwhelming as well. It's like you see all this stuff and you go, oh my God, that's amazing, and I can never make that, and so I might as well just give up.
We're constantly inundated with notifications and distractions, and random media that and news on some level, like design news, that we don't really need.
You get very distracted. So I would turn that stuff off. I think I try and, I do my email in the morning and then I turn it off and then I do it at night.
Just because you looked at an interesting image it makes you feel good for a second because it's beautiful, but I think a lot of the times that reducing the level of noise that provides allows you to be able to listen to what you really want to do better.
Sempre em faig bastants autoprojectes.
You have to copy, to learn, and then you have to digest. And only when you're sure that you're digesting it and then you can recognize yourself in what you do, then it's time to share it with the world.
Whenever I'm bored of Photoshop, I start drawing. Whenever I'm bored of drawing, I start doing 3D graphics. And that's like how you exercise yourself, like watching things from different angles.
M'apunto a molts workshops jo, per exemple.
Whenever I wake up in the morning and go for a run, I feel like my mind is so much more clear, so much more focused, so much easier to work and come up with ideas.
I think documenting process is a really good way to put your work out there.
Internet i ser molt pesat, enviar molts mails, intentar que no es vegi allò en plan mail massiu, saps?
Esforzarte al máximo, intentar que sea lo más bueno posible.
Believe what you want to do and put your heart into it, and I think that is what steps up.
Yeah. Create nice work, I think, and share it with people.
Well, I think today it's really easy with the internet. I couldn't be where I am right now if I didn't use that as a tool to actually,
It's essential to have your own online portfolio, and I'm not talking about a Behance profile or whatever, you just need to have your own identity on the net.
Puedes tener difusión masiva, se puede convertir en un viral fácilmente y que mucha gente lo vea.
I would say start by doing really great work that you're passionate and proud of, and then from there, it's so easy nowadays with the internet and blogs.
It's just a matter of whatever you want to reach and just try to push it as hard as possible.
Lo primero es como amar lo que haces y disfrutar todo ese tipo de cosas.
Doing something that's innovative or doing something that you believe in. If you put something that you believe in, I think that voice will stand up above something else.
People talk, if you do your thing in your own corner, sometimes, it just stays there.
Això és d'aquelles coses que dius, no sé, no sé per què, potser perquè això t'han publicat en el dia que el creatiu de no sé què ha mirat aquell blog i li ha agradat, saps? És aquella cosa de sort, jo crec.
Like one lucky day, and I think it's more based on be out there on the internet so people can discover your work, they can see it, they can share it, and I think that's essential.
Gracias a estos medios puedes abarcar a más personas.
Ahora más que nunca tu cliente puede estar en cualquier parte del mundo y puedes llegar a él, ¿no?
You do great work, you can live in some remote island somewhere, post it on one blog and it can go viral. So.
Sí, ahora hay que aprovechar, ¿no?, las nuevas tecnologías, es muy fácil publicar tu trabajo y en vez de invertir dinero por otros a nivel de publicidad, pues tienes todas las Facebook, Instagram, todas estas, y saber utilizarlas bien. Tampoco hay que emocionarse y decir, mira, tengo esta idea rápida, la publico ya rápido. Hay que pensarse las cosas porque si no puedes salirte en la otra dirección, ¿no?
Efecto contrario, ¿no?
I think there's something dangerous about being known before you should be known, too.
Jo en el book poso només el que estic 100%, saps? Perquè allò és el que cridarà un altre projecte.
Be clever about the projects that you choose to work on. Do something that you love, but maybe choose a project that you think other people might love too.
I like the idea that being known isn't necessarily the goal. That being said, in my process, being able to show my work in prototype has been hugely influential, and as long as you can kind of shut off the noise of the likes and always do what you want to do, then documentation is good.
And if you want to get hired, you need to show that you're always thinking about design, that it's your life, that it's your passion, and that you're not going to just turn up, do a mundane day's work, and then go home and do what you really love.
De hecho, esta me la dijiste tú, que las oportunidades están pasando todo el tiempo. Entonces, lo que nos pasa es que no las vemos y pasan tan rápido que tal vez nos cuesta trabajo como agarrarlas, ¿no? Y decir, esta es la oportunidad que queremos.
Just try to do stuff that are really true to you. Don't try to to subscribe to a new trend or new fashion. If it's forced, you're just gonna fill in the work, and you need to do something that you're really connected to and that you know every angle, every aspect.
Go after what you like. Do what you love, and then more of that will come. And don't try and force it.
Aquest consell que tu busques és fes el que tu et surt de dintre, fes el que et doni la santa gana i després ja et trobaran, saps? Si a algú li agrada ja et trobarà.
Mira, una cosa que deia el Toni Sallés de Bassava, deia las prisas se van y la mierda se queda.
El hecho de poder cuidar como muy formalmente lo que estás haciendo todo alrededor es así crucial.
What Stefan Sagmeister said, like in 2011 I was here at OFF and he had this talk and he basically talked about the free time you have and how you spend it.
My father, when I was quite young and kind of starting out, used to tell me, like I mentioned in my previous answer, about the fullness of time.
And I think it's really important to keep space for your personal development instead of like working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week on client-based projects.
I think there's a lot of tendency for creatives to be in a huge rush now, a rush to become known or a rush to make the work develop faster than it should.
D'avui per demà, doncs es pot fer, però no tindràs el mateix nivell de qualitat que si tu tens temps per fer allò.
And also, not to give yourself that much pressure, because passion and pressure are different. Passion is something that makes you enjoy life. Pressure is something that makes you want to kill yourself. So the work should always come from a place of passion. Pressure comes from ego, I think.
When I first graduated, someone told me, fake it till you make it. And I think that was the most helpful piece of advice. You know, sometimes when I've had opportunities that have really, really scared me and I wasn't sure that I would be able to get it done, I just said yes anyways and figured it out later. And that seemed to work for me so far.
Ese es el punto, el hecho de levantar el brazo para jalar esa oportunidad. Es ese significado de arriesgarte a hacer algo.
Eso sí que hay que tener, cuando acabas la carrera, tener cierta humildad, intentar trabajar en algún estudio con otras personas, colaborar, empaparse de todo lo que puedas, de otros profesionales, y entonces cuando ya más o menos tienes como ciertas garantías, hacer tu proyecto solitario, ¿no?
Planear muy bien lo que quieres hacer, sí, escribirlo, qué quieres hacer, cómo lo quieres hacer, absolutamente todo, y hacerlo así.
Create yourself a comfort zone where you can explore and still learn from just by trying stuff out and seeing new things in the world, like traveling and such things.
So just kind of keep up, know what you don't know, and really take advice from other people.
Someone once said to me, be interesting.
Just work harder than everybody else.
And be nice to people.
Not that I think I am interesting, but you try and like fill your life with interesting moments and interesting stories, interesting people.
And it's surrounding yourself with people who do the things that you want to do. It's probably the most important way of taking your career forwards.
When I was trying to make something that people would pay attention to, when I let that go and just enjoyed what I was doing, even if it was naive or sentimental or insignificant, being able to do that really made me feel more confident when I found the thing that I love to do.
Haz lo que te gusta.
My work is so noisy, so vibrant, and there's digital, stuff like that, and time off, disconnection. The moment I ride my bike home is like a meditation. Traveling, disconnecting, find a sense of solitude for some time.
A mí lo que me inspira es inspirar.
Just, you know, just enjoying people and enjoying the process of creating with all of these weird, quirky, strange people. Because creatives and producers, we're all just weird. So just enjoying that and pulling from that.
Entonces, si cada vez que yo recibo algo positivo para mí, pasarlo, porque no es como para ti, ¿no? Es como para que siga su camino. Es igual que el dinero, idéntico. No es que está, se tiene que mover, porque con mucho tiempo en un lugar nada más genera, por ejemplo, me he dado cuenta que mucho tiempo de inspiración sin hacer nada se genera en frustración. Porque quieres, pero no, pero entonces quieres, pero no, y estás como todo presionado porque sí te gustan las cosas, pero quieres, pero no, entonces se genera en frustración. Es algo que tiene que seguir caminando.
Actual people work with their hands to make objects and stuff like that, and all this kind of very down to earth, really real work. I think that's an inspiration for me because I'm on the total other side of the spectrum. I'm doing stuff that nobody needs. You know, it's nice to look at, but it's not useful for anything.
I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on inspiration blogs and focusing on the computer and researching online all the time. I think something that we all probably try to do is get away from it as much as we can, and that can be as simple as taking a walk in the park and finding something in the park that inspires you. I think inspiration is everywhere and doesn't necessarily relate to the illustrations that already exist. It can be anything.
You can get as a student, you can get hung up on trying to get inspired, and I think the sooner you realize that getting inspired is the easy bit.
Sources of inspiration, like within music, like within architecture here in Barcelona, I really love it. It's just like beautiful things you see, you hear. And of course there are like several artists, like I love Salvador Dali, the way he manipulated the reality and stuff like that. I love Coca-Cola advertising, I love MTV advertising. That's like basically something that's always coming back to me. That's always like, whenever they got something new, it's always appealing to me. And
moure, sortir, no quedar-se a casa, saps? A internet, allà, pam. No? Perquè al final, com que deia Gaudí, no? Que tot l'origen està a la naturalesa i les coses més boniques les trobes allà.
Hemos crecido juntos y hemos compartido las mismas series de dibujos animados, películas, muñecos, y eso fue como una gran influencia para nosotros, y creemos que el germen Brosmain viene un poco de allí, ¿no? De la época de los 80-90 y toda esa cultura popular, todas las influencias que recibimos a través de la televisión, películas americanas.
Well, music is a big source of inspiration.
Because of the type of person I am and all that, I really find people with the right perspective about their work very inspiring, because I think it's hard to get right a lot of the time.
En los problemas encontramos unas oportunidades increíbles porque hay mucho que hacer, hay mucho que poner en otro lugar, hay muchos huecos que llenar, y entonces esas son oportunidades.
Nuestro contexto es un contexto donde hay una naturaleza increíble, es un contexto donde hay una mezcla de contrastes muy fuertes entre pobres, ricos, es muy variado, un contexto de violencia también, que a pesar de todos estos contextos entre violencia, naturaleza, es como toda una inspiración que te mueve para seguir realizando proyectos.
And also I find the energy that I get from festivals like OFF to be really inspiring.
Otra fuente de inspiración creo que para nosotros ha sido OFF también, y es por eso que justo ahora estamos organizando OFF en México. Empezamos el año pasado y fue increíble esa fuerza que se movió alrededor de llevar esta inspiración a la gente, porque es como este ciclo que te puede volver a generar a ti mucha más inspiración para seguir haciendo cosas y seguir haciendo proyectos, seguir haciendo lo que te gusta.
That's probably my biggest source of inspiration right now. Just seeing people reach out and genuinely connecting.
Mira't el programa de l'OFF i en trobaràs unes quantes, no? De fet, també està bé no inspirar-te només amb les coses que passen aquí dintre, saps? Sinó buscar inspiració en altres coses de la vida mundana, saps?
The one thing is that I don't look within my own field for inspiration. I find it really, really important to look outside of the world of design, even if that means still within the creative fields like fashion, fine arts, sculpture. I live in New York City and Chelsea, surrounded by all the best galleries, so getting to go see shows on a Saturday morning is absolutely amazing and a big source of inspiration for me.
I think for me it's always been reading.
I have heroes. Armin Hoffman is a just legendary graphic designer and then right up to now was like Thomas Heatherwick, who is to me like the Da Vinci of his age.
Y particularmente a mí me gustan como mucho los United Visual Artists. Me gusta mucho una empresa de Canadá que se llama Factoria.
Artcom también son.
So don't spend your time walking the streets thinking, how do I get inspired? Pick something, run with it, see what happens. You might not be inspired at the beginning, but maybe after 3 days of working on it, you'll find a vision.